So by inspecting the land we want to develop. This is a place we are building the house. We have a house where the God stays, and then another house where we keep the tools, and then this is the gate. And up here we have some water coming from the road. So we have built this swale, and it has catch quite some water, and now it's filled with grass, grass. I'll say this is not a swale. This is like a way for the water to pass to get to the swale, this down. And the place is really green now, because it has rained a lot. This area has been grazed once, so the grass is not too tall. And here they tried to make a local dam, but it will need some restoration. Then this place now is very green, and here should be some areas where I can't even find where I have the swale. It is here, so it goes to this place, catch water from there. Then a lot of water is coming to that dam. It has been used for different purposes. Then you can see other places where we have dug. It's very, very green. Yeah, it's the place has become very green. Even I can't even find the swales in a good manner. This land is at least catching some water here. Some other places. You can see there's some water catchment. And it's completely changed. Trying to shade for the wind. Then we've been planting a lot of trees in these holes all around shamba. So I will now go and inspect how the things are. Some of the trees are healthy, others are not so healthy. Like this, you can see the leaves drying up, but we need some assistance. And I can see it's likely how this guy has been digging. He hasn't been digging the way that I wanted to be dug. These ones are looking like the design that I choose. It looks a bit better. Others are drying up. So others are doing very well. This one looks like it's been there for a much longer time. Even here, so I cannot easily see my swales, which shows to me that they might not be dug sufficient enough. Here is actually one. There is. Yeah, I can see. Okay, you can see because it has more weeds than the other places. So here it is dug. Goes this side. Here you can see this. It looks like there's a lot of flow of water here. We'll see how the swale have done. Yeah. A lot of flow of water. hopefully we have made a good work. It will likely be much easier to see it another time. And I think it has done some work, but it needs some improvements, because here it looks like there's some water flowing out of the land, and it's good because it used to come to this place, but now here is quite dry, so it means it has not got that water. And then there looks like there's another place where the water has passed. So at least it's getting greener. This was at least the first achievement, to let the grass grow back. So this plant we have grown is called Gravillea, and it's very easy to get it as seedlings, and it's quite easy to grow it. So we have chosen that. From the beginning I planted another tree from seeds, and the problem was the last side, and the termites were eating them all, so that's why we are a bit behind when it comes to tree. We like to plant just trees to just show the fencing areas around the boma. And this was the easiest tree for us to grow, as I'm not around. The other trees that has a better chance for growing well and growing faster and has more use. The one I really want is Sokonoi, Masokoni, and that tree is not so easy to get hold of. The seeds that I've gotten, they're not so easy to grow from the seeds, unless I train someone that I have not, so it's yet to develop well. Then there's some area here that had quite some Erangau growing up, and I'm letting them to grow. They will make a nice bush in this place. And today I will want to prune them. I can see more and more coming up. So none of them are very tall, but they are growing. You can see that they are not the acacia that has the most juice. But of course, if they are brought here by seeds and they grow, I will let them to do that, as I will also introduce other types. Mostly down here I would likely to put a lot of marguet also, because they very easy to grow from seed. It's the most easy one. So one like this can be easily pruned, and I'll get some chance to grow straight. And here I can see it's another place where I have another swale, but it seems it's not done a good job, because water has gone out of the swale here. There is a chance. I'll try to dig some more places to even out the water, and I can see, most likely because I'm only seeing extra water catchment in some areas, they might it might not be leveled. So this, and I thought it could be like that. This area seemed to be a bit lower than up, So one of the mistakes I did was I did very long swales and I didn't have the tools to do precise job, which means there's a lot of chance for error, and I can see that it has been that. So in the future, what I've learned is to do more of the swales and do them smaller and on more frequency. I can even out the water spread of the land. There are more trees in the fence. Hopefully they will do well this time. Nhớ chuyện này nó.
Cái gì Loki.
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 Loki. Yara siai. Kasi. Guna.
Mat.
Meti.
Met.
So this is a species, they call it Loki, but he's saying it doesn't have a use. Naendare?
Yanyandare.
And it's just for the sheep and goats to eat it. Yeah. So it's getting greener. There was a lot more grass than what's there now, but we let some cows to get inside and finish them a bit, and the grass will grow back. New chances. You can see the whole way of this area. There's some Erangau, the acacias growing. And in a few years, without doing anything else, fencing the place, it will be a bit bushy. And especially here, it will be a chance to put a beehive under those trees.
Yeah.
So this is the Erangau when it's bigger. This one has some other species growing. It's quite common here in Kenya. There are different species that grow on other trees, and they root themselves in the trunk, and then they produce their own leaves. Gidi. Gardangai. Lardanyai. So they call this one Lardanyai, and they say it is very good to give for cows. Kole mekuja mzuri. Alepi sho. So it's good for the milk production for the cows. And then these trees, they are easily to be infested by insects. So it's not a wood that will last for long. But they do cut it and use it for fencing. At least it will work for a shorter time. So this is a very normal kind of species growing here for flowers. Especially they come if there is no animals grazing, because cows eat this, goats eat this, sheep eat this. They like them to eat them together with the grass. And but it's a beautiful flower, and it grows a lot this season, and it's very good for honey production now. The bees like them a lot. Here you can see. I guess we can find a bee. Seems they even like this plant. Yeah, here you can see they are here. It's rolling around. And Nahi, even this Lotoroi, even this one is very good for bees. It's a beautiful flower also. I guess this one can be easier. All of them can be easily planted and grown in a good manner. And then we have This seemed to be a species of nitrogen fixing plants. I don't know the name in English, I know it's in Swedish. It looks to grow very well, nice here. So the moment you protect the land a bit, you'll have more species coming, that will have a chance to be beneficial, especially for the bees. They have a chance this time to really have enough food and produce a lot of honey. And I guess even so now it's July, so by August is really like the time many they harvest most of the honey. But when you look at the Olorobo, they used to harvest honey very often. They knew, for them they put the trees in the forest, and the home for the bees in the forest, the honey, the beehives now, and then they knew specific seasons when to harvest. Those were the traditional beekeepers now. Yes. So when we look outside the fence, this area to actually also have a lot of bush now. And the only thing that it's lacking is the same amount of grass, because it's preferred by the sheep and the cows, and then the other things will be eaten by the sheep and the goats, and the sheep will prefer those things when it's a bit more drier and there's no more grass. Even this is really good for the cows. So this type of fence I've seen, it has been good, but it's not 100% to keep people out. So we have guards, but here I can find there's a place they have climbed, or at least tried to climb over, but most likely they have climbed, because here is also pushed down. So if we put even more lines of this one, we'll secure the place a bit better. But otherwise it has kept all the animals out, and that's a really good thing. This is now my neighbor's plot, one we actually bought the land from, and here we put a more simple fence, because him is also protecting his land, so there's not the same chance for someone to come in to steal or animals to come. That we'll see how it will work out. And here I did a swale, and it seems to have done quite well. Here there's a lot of water coming from this place, especially when it has entered. Not all of the water stays in the land, but by the mazes. So here's a place now that I really want to focus and start with a fruit forest, and I started with a few trees, trying. My biggest difficulty now is that I'm not around, and I'm the expert, but it's hard to give all that knowledge to all the guys working. But this place is really green, especially some places. There's a lot of Elpresi. Now we can come and see and inspect. And it seems the swale has done its work. Maybe it needs to be improved a bit. But this swale looks actually to be a bit better than the other ones. And I chose to put a toilet here, Yeah, and when it fills, we didn't dig it so deep. When it fills, we'll just put soil and put a tree for timber. Then we'll have it in another place. And the other is a temporary one. Others will be moved, others will be for the house. They will have to be going to a septic tank, and then let's see what we can do with the remaining water. So this one, you can see has not been planted again. The trees along here. That's okay. We'll have a new chance to that. As you can see, it's a very green place here. There's some holes. Mtaro nini? Ya maji. Oh. Yeah. So there was a lot of places that was dug for trees. We have not planted them in all places. And these ones have done well. They need some attention and some weeding. And others have been planted more recently. These seem to be a leucaena. So we planted quite a few of them. There's another one, there's another one. But they seem to grow quite slowly. I would prefer to plant now many Spaniards instead. This one is now starting to give fruits, showing a lot of health, giving quite good fruits. So having this place full of them will really give some value to all of us. And there's a chance now there were some animals coming here that have been eating a few trees. These ones are healthy. Even this Gravillea is not bad to grow it with fruits, and they don't have a negative effect on other trees. So that's it for this update. This time I will not have a chance to do a lot of work in this land, so we'll let nature do the work, and we'll see if we can get other trees planted as I'm away, especially this fruit. So hope you saw this as something interesting. Talk to you next time.